What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode here at the Game Nights. You have Titan here.
This is me, the Real Mimic, aka Achilles, aka Craig.
And I hope you guys are really pumped up for this video because we are coming at you guys with our second listed video of our channel, and we're gonna talk about the ban list. This video, guys. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this one. I'm super excited, so strap yourselves in. I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you have not already, make sure that you guys share our videos, and make sure that you guys also smash that notification bell so that you're always notified for when we upload new Game Nights content. And you can also check us out on Facebook. So guys, without any further ado, let's get right on into the video.
This is a Craigslist?
I don't know, can we call it a Craigslist?
It's a Craigslist!
Alright guys, so let's start off with what Konami will do, and we're going to start off with the ban section. So, the first ban card that I have, it's fairly obvious. I'm pretty sure everyone and their mother is going to want this card banned on this list, and that is the Very Fun Dragon. VFD, Calamities, whatever you want to call it, that thing has to go. That thing just axes it completely. We need it out of the game.
Yeah, I play him and I want him gone.
Yeah, I wonder what that says when the Dino player over here wants the VFD ban.
He's gotta go. On that topic, I think Red Eyes Fusion has to go. I know a lot of people talking about Verte, but I think if you really look at the problem card, it's Red Eyes Fusion. If we hit Verte, people are just gonna start running Red Eyes Insight into, Red Eyes Fusion. That has seen success. Like, we can't say we haven't seen a top. It has. It's going to happen again. The real problem card here is Red Eyes Fusion. Fight me.
Oh, I honestly 100% agree. I think that Red Eyes Fusion has to be the card that needs to be addressed, absolutely. Whether that is a limit, even though the limit probably wouldn't do too much, but I think that would be probably the best card to ban for sure. So the next card I have on the list is Zexel. I have Zexel on here because just roughly the same reasons why, Calamities would be banned. It does the same thing. It just says no to your opponent playing the game whatsoever. And also just to even future-proof it, just for when the Numeron stuff does come out, we might as well get rid of that. We don't want Zexel being on top of all the other shenanigans that they're able to do, so we might as well just get rid of it now.
Yeah, regardless of whether or not it's seen topping, it's just another, non-interactive card.
Exactly. So, and who likes those?
No one. No one likes those.
No, not at all. So, that's it for the bans. We actually don't have too many bans. I don't think Konami's going to be banning too much. They don't overly like to just completely destroy decks, but those cards are definitely the ones that we feel like Konami will absolutely address. Next, we're going to go off into the limits. So,
have you read Misk?
Yes, guys, we're bringing that meme back. Have you read Misk? Misk absolutely needs to go.
My gosh! What? Get out! Get out!
Hit it to 1. I mean, banning it, I think, is a little too much. Hitting it to 1 reduces the consistency drastically, and it's a fair way to look at it.
Yeah, I agree. I think at 1, it's probably fine. I don't really know what other card you would possibly hit in the Dino lineup other than Misk, so that would probably be the best one.
Yeah. On to the next limit, Ben 10. Everyone's been looking at Drytron, people see what it does, and the main reason it's able to have the success it can have is because of the not hard once per turn, Ben 10, his/herself. That's right, we've had enough of the Omnitrix, let's get rid of it.
Ben 10 to 1. So, I also think that it is about time that we stop seeing my boy Alistair so much. Meltdown is, I think, the correct hit here that Konami will make when it comes to the whole invoked package. I think everybody's just sick of seeing Alistair. So you know what? Let's just hurt the consistency a little bit. We've been saying this for at least 2 lists now. I think they're going to do it. People are just tired of it. Let's just put Meltdown to 1.
Absolutely. And give me back Colossus. Put him to 1. I doubt he's going to be that oppressive at 1. When you look at Colossus, yes, he's got a really strong effect, but in a deck that doesn't really recycle that much, him being at 1 is totally fair. Yes, there may be the off chance where they're able to summon him a second time in the game, but that's not really going to come up that often. So putting him to 1 is totally reasonable.
Yeah, I also agree. I mean, it's tough because I do think that the card is super duper good, But you know what? I think just, one card that just says, hey, you can't search your deck. I think one of it is more than fine. So I agree. I think at one it's fine. The next limit that I think is going to happen, this is a card that is going to be coming off of the ban to one. It is Firewall Dragon. And the reason why I think that they're going to do it this list is because we did get confirmation that Firewall is going to be printed as a ghost rare in the Ghost from the Past set. So I really believe that Konami, of course, they want to make money. They're going to want to push their new product. So the way to do that is they're probably going to unban Firewall Dragon and put it to 1.
With that brand new errata.
Exactly, yeah. It did get errated, so why not just put it to 1?
Another one, Electromite. We're looking at you, Triff. We know you want it, and I agree with you, especially since eventually they're going to want to push to Remicord, which is something coming out in the future, although we're not exactly sure how distant in the future. It is still a pendulum archetype, kind of proving that Konami is not done with pendulums, so it's very possible that we see Electromite come back.
Hey, I myself, I love the pendulum mechanic, so I really hope that it comes back too, to be honest.
We like a lot of things, right?
I like my pendulums. All right, and then the next one that I think that they also will do on this list, just to kind of raise the ceiling a little bit for this deck that hasn't really seen too much play lately, it is Mirage Stalio, putting it to 1 for the Salamangreat deck. It hasn't been doing anything whatsoever. You might as well just give them back a Mirage Stalio, give them, a little bit of an ability to, make some follow-up plays. So I think that that's more than fair. I don't see why they wouldn't do that.
I fully agree with you. It's completely reasonable.
Yeah. All right, so then next off into the semi-limits. So the first one that we want to talk about, I honestly think that Zodiac Wrap here is a card that we could talk about. I think Rat at 2 is more than fine. Honestly, it does something similar to Malicious in an aspect. Like, it's honestly not that big of a deal. Why not just help the Zodiac deck a little bit? I know that we've been seeing a lot of representation, but the pure side of it, it's a little weak. So you know what, let's just help them out a little bit so that the people that do like to play pure can actually play pure.
There's a lot of fans.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Rat-2 is something that we could see Konami do on this list.
Also, I know there's a lot of people very against the existence of the semi-limit, list for everything outside of Malicious, but, that is a very real point as why there should be a semi-limit list. There are cards too oppressive to be at 3 and too impactful to be at 1. I am an advocate for this semi-limited list. I understand there's a lot of people that are not, but it's important to address.
Yeah, I actually 100% agree with you. I personally think, I know a lot of people, especially in the TCG community, they don't really see much use for the semi-limit. I actually really do. I think it's a great way to put some cards that are just way too oppressive at 3, but just not quite good enough at 1. Place it in the semi-limit list. I actually think a lot of the hand traps, I would love to see Max see at 2. But
first, a little variety.
Yeah, for a little bit of variety. But yeah, that's a wish list thing. We'll get that into the later into the video.
I also think E-Telly could be at 2. If VFD is getting banned, which I'm fairly adamant will happen, it's totally fine for E-Telly at that point to be at 2.
Oh, I 100% agree.
VW is not going to be abusing Calamities anymore, so it's fine to give them another extender, because at the end of the day, they're a toolbox combo deck. Giving them another Nyan Nyan from deck or a Lulu, it's whatever, right? At the end of the day, it's just another thing. And more Psychic decks in the future, seeing more come up from that. I would like to see E-Telly back, because I don't think it deserves to be at 1 with Calamity Saint.
Yep, I agree.
Imperative to note that's an if.
Yeah, exactly. I think if Calamities does get to the axe, which I'm sure it will, 100% E-Telly at 2 I think should happen for sure.
Oh yeah.
All right, off into the unlimits. So the first unlimit that I have is Dynamite Knight for True Dracos. I believe that, honestly, Masterpiece still isn't around. We have Diagram limited at this point. Honestly, what is the deck doing? We might as well just give them back their best card. Dynamite Knight was one of their best cards they had. Yeah. Back before all of the hits. So we might as well give them a little bit of power boost there, raise their ceiling a little bit. So I think Dynamite Knight can definitely come back to 3.
On that note, True King's return as well.
Yep.
It was recently brought to 2, and realistically, I think everyone agreed when they said, why put it to 2 when they could have just put it to 3? It was never going to be oppressive. Without Masterpiece, the deck is just in general not going to be oppressive. If it ends up rogue, great. More rogue decks, just more variety for the metagame, right?
Yep.
So, put their core cards to 3. let it be, and just we'll see where it goes.
I 100% agree. I think it's more than fine. Might as well just put it to 3. Then, the next card that I have going to unlimited status is Beatrice. I do think that Beatrice, honestly, can come back to 3. The pure BA deck, like, yeah, we are seeing some tops here and there, but honestly, most of those strategies aren't even really using BO that much. They're honestly just going strictly for Dragoon, going into Bardiche, those kinds of shenanigans. So you know what? Just give BO to 3, you know, let the BA players have everything. They already gave back Raph to 3, you know, Seer to 3. We might as well just give them back their Beatrice and just let BA just be at full power.
The days of BO pass are over.
Yeah,
friends.
it just doesn't happen anymore, so there's no reason why we can't see BO at 3.
On that, other decks that need to have things put to 3. Infernity Arcfiend. Why are you at 1 still? The deck has not seen anything. Everyone's so dreadfully afraid of it because of people that have experienced Infernity in the past. Look, we're not in 5D's meta anymore, okay? He can come back. It's fine. Looking at you, Konami. Don't fail me.
I actually 100% agree, so I definitely advocate for it to come back to 3 as well. Then, the next thing that I also believe should come back to 3, or that I think that they will, this is a big if though, if they do not decide to put Mirage Stallion to 1, I do believe that, you know, again, like I said, Salomon Greats, they should have something to lift their ceiling a little bit. I do think that they should put Gazelle to 3. Honestly, again, what is the deck doing? You might as well just give them back something.
It's just not making waves.
It's just not. So if Stalio does not come back to 1, I 100% think that they will do something with Salomon Greats, and I think the correct thing that they would do is to just give them back the Gazelle. So Gazelle to 3 is the last thing that I have for the Unlimits.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. I have something to add on to the Unlimits there. Litho Sagem to 3. This is a hot take for some people, but Litho is not doing anything at 1. Even at 3, you're only really going to be able to activate it once per turn. You look at dinos, they cycle through almost all their babies on the first turn, as it is. If Misk is going to 1, just give them 3 Litho. It's like more hand trappable because it's not under Misk. Like, it's totally fine. At the end of the day, if they're going to want to play a Litho-based strategy and banish your opponent's extra deck, you're usually going to be playing a deck that doesn't rely heavily on your extra deck anyways, like dinos tend to do with Extravagance. So I look at it very similar to how Monarchs play. I sacrifice my extra deck for your extra deck, and although Litho on its own doesn't necessarily do that, the dino strategy as a whole already kind of does.
Exactly, and I also agree. I think Litho to 3 is more than fine at this point. Alright guys, so that's everything what we think Konami will do on this list. So now let's get into the wish list. So this is where things can get a little spicy. This is just what we personally, us Game Knights, felt like, you know, things can, you know, change a little bit, come off the list, go on the
Absolutely.
list. You know, just to kind of clean up some things. We all think that Konami doesn't really do the greatest job all the time and, you know, keeping the metagame in check. So this is just our section to kind of do that for them.
Definitely. We'll lead into it definitely with, straight up, a wish from Prophet himself.
Yes, that's right.
Dryden to 3?
Yep, Dryden to 3, 100%. Another, you know, raising the ceiling of the pure Zoo deck. It's a once per turn quick effect, you know.
The man's a ride or die Zoo player. Just let him have it.
Just let him have his Dryden. If you're never on, like we already know that the likelihood of Broad Bull coming back just isn't going to happen. So I think the best way to kind of, you know, give the Zodiac players, the pure Zodiac players some love. Why not give them the Dryden back to 3? Or, I mean, at least to 2 first and then to 3. I know it should eventually come back to 3. But yeah, that's something that I also agree with. To me, it's not oppressive at all.
I know it's not likely Broad Bull's going to come to 1 since we didn't just mention that. I would actually put it as a wish list.
Yep.
The way I look at it is like, yes, it's a really strong card. It allows for easy splashes. But like, it could also very much be the birth of like Zodiac Tri-Brigade, which could just be really cool to see a new deck come in. I know that's going to be a hot take, so in the comments kind of let us know what you think about that. But realistically, I think Broad Bull is fine at 1. I know people will disagree with that. That's fine. You're entitled to your opinion.
Yep, and that's why this is the wish list. This is just what we think would be fine.
Yeah.
Then the next thing that I have, this is a personal wish list from Titan, is Engage to 1. Now, I know this might give you guys some PTSD here, but Engage at 1 I think is more than fine. I personally believe that Sky Strikers just having one engage is not going to absolutely completely break the strategy. We already have seen, the OCG have engaged to 2. I know their metagame is different, but they have it at 2, and nobody even bats an eye. Nobody cares. So you know what? I think engage to 1, I think would be fantastic. Would love that.
It's definitely not the end of the world. I'm not a fan of it, and Titan knows this, but I'm not gonna cry about it if it happens. I think Zeus to 1, and I know a lot of people, to them that's a really big hot take. The card's really new. They think it's not gonna happen and not necessary to happen. But when you just look at the sheer representation Zeus has in the meta, and just how many decks are running multiple copies of it, it's very fair to say that it's making a large impact. And when cards have that serious of an impact on deck building, I think it's worth looking at.
Yep.
So I think limit.
Yep, and I 100% agree. Honestly, we were kind of arguing or discussing back and forth on this one. Honestly, I do agree. I have seen a lot of Zeus lately. A lot of people will just splash 2 in the extra deck. It's super easy to do and super accessible. So you know what? Maybe just putting it to 1 would just be a nice little balance. So I do agree with that, just as I was doing some more thinking of it.
Yeah.
For sure. Another wish list for me is Masterpiece to 1. Now again, this is another big if. If Diagram doesn't get touched, let's say they decide not to give Diagram back to 3, I definitely think Masterpiece at 1 is more than fine. Again, I know anybody that lived through that True Draco meta is probably going to have some PTSD here.
I'm also a big advocate of Diagram to 3, so I think it's a bit of a hot take.
Yeah, so to me, Masterpiece at 1 is more than fine. I don't see any issue with that whatsoever. I would love to see it back. It would just be nice to kind of raise the ceiling for True Draco players a little bit. And again, just some more variety in the metagame.
Yeah, and again, like you mentioned, Diagram to 3. We didn't officially talk about it, but it is something that we all kind of agree.
Yeah.
Realistically, yes, it's a really good card, but Diagram's not really making waves anymore. True Draco's not really making waves anymore. And I do understand, Diagram on top of Masterpiece, even coming to 1 might be, a bit of a hot take for people. But if you look at it as a whole, versus, what else is out there right now, it's really not that difficult.
Yeah.
It's handleable. At the end of the day, it's a field spell.
Yeah, exactly. We have so many ways to deal with, back row in general. To me, it's just not a big deal. Why not?
Also, Jax wants Bardish to 2 or even 3, he has said, and I have heard those from his lips.
Hey guys, Editor Lee here, also known as Jax. Just wanted to quickly say right now, I never want this card to be at 3. I never have. At 2, yes, because of Icy Dragon's Prison. It is so accessible in any deck. It's easy just to pick out a Boots, a Cloak, a Torn Scale, any of your Phantonace cards, target the Bardish, and banish it immediately before you even get the chance to use it, therefore shutting down your entire deck, basically. And I just think having it at 2 would be a nice play around being able, it will hurt still being Icy Dragon's Prisoned, but it won't completely shut down your game, which is why I think it deserves to be at 2.
No. I don't know why Bardish came back at all, and I'm not saying PK is broken, but again, people forget the Dark Warrior is a deck.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
And it's always just on that brink of viability again.
Yep.
And it doesn't stop, so I really don't want to see it become oppressive, although I really like the fact that PK is getting viability again. That's really cool for the game. It's just not safe for its splashability purposes.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Honestly, personally, I think Bardish never should have came back to 1, but, just considering that he plays the deck, it's one of his pet decks.
He wants to pay him respects and at least mention it.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to see it at 2, so that's just a wish list from Jax Jackal, aka White the Editor, aka Lee. So, alrighty guys, that's everything that we have. I hope that you guys really enjoyed today's episode. Let us know in the comment section what you guys thought of the list. What are your guys' wish list picks? We would actually love to know, and I really want to know what you guys would do to address the Dragoon issue, because we have gone back and forth for days, it seems like, on what should get hit, what shouldn't get hit. Should it be Red Eyes Fusion? Should it be Verte? So I would love to know, so please let us know in the comments, guys. With that being said, I hope you guys have an awesome day, and until next time, peace.
See you on another episode of Craigslist.
Yes.